Chad, it's always awesome to be here speaking with you, but today in particular, I'm super excited not only to be talking about what we're talking about, but actually for you. This role you have coming up is huge. Whenever we talk about, superheroes and comic book characters, you've never really been a fan of the heroes themselves.
Right. I'm a total 100% villain guy. And even about a year ago, I was just talking to my agent, Andrew Webster, and he's like, what kind of role do we want to shoot for? And I said, I play a lot of villains. I was raised a comic book geek, and I was like, the best role I could ever get is a supervillain. And let alone a year later, we're here, and I got Flash, and dreams come true, I guess you could say. But now I'm playing the supervillain. So.
And I mean, for the news to come that The Flash is being filmed in Vancouver, that's huge in itself. But then to get an audition, what was that like?
Well, I actually got 7 auditions. I auditioned for Flash, and then I auditioned for Professor Thawne, and obviously, they seen something, but I wasn't right for those, and I played those characters like really just normal type guys, and then they asked, would you read for Clyde Martin, who at the time I didn't know was the Weather Wizard. I didn't know that at all. They actually, even the sides were some fire guy. So I went in there and I did something totally crazy, and the director David Nutter and producer Andrew Kreisberg were there. And these are very intimidating people, like especially if you're a comic book fan. Right. These are the guys, and so I went in there and just went kind of crazy with this character, and thank God they understood what I was doing, because if not, I could have been like my last audition ever for this show. So I did it. I got lucky. I still had 5 more auditions to see Clyde, and then I went to producer approval, then the network approval, and then we got it. So
now, if we look at the comic books, Clyde Martin is actually Weather Wizard's brother, right? How's it working out in this show? Are they still going with that?
Yeah, well, even in the pilot episode and stuff, it's the brothers. It's the Martin brothers, so you actually get to see both of them. And so I don't want to give anything away and stuff for down the road and stuff like that. But yeah, it is. They stay true to the comic books, where even in the comic books, Clyde Martin is the guy who invented the whole weather, the weather powers and stuff, and then Mark takes it over. But so they stayed true to that there are brothers, and if whether or not a future lies ahead for the brother or not, we'll have to see, I guess. So.
And Clyde Martin is a scientist. That's basically how the whole Weather Wizard thing comes about, right? His brother, a little bit crazy. There's rumors that he may actually end up killing, well, in the old comic books, he ends up murdering, possibly, his brother. I'm guessing the brothers look alike.
Yeah, well.
So do you have more than one role in this?
Again, no. I actually don't. The pilot and stuff, I play Clyde, and that's kind of what it is. But I think with TV and the way DC and that are taking this show and CW, they had to make some changes to obviously the creation and formation of these characters, right? I mean, not everyone's going to come from planet Xenon or wherever. So they made some changes in the pilot that I really liked, and obviously the writers and stuff, and hopefully the fans will too. And not, we are swaying off a little bit of some of the origins of these characters and that, but I think it's more realistic, and I love that. That's the best part about it. So.
Where were you when you heard that it was actually picked up and this is happening?
Well, my phone started going up with all these congratulation text messages and stuff, and this is about a week before it had actually was supposed to be announced, and I had no idea what fans were congratulating me on. It was a Bruins game that day, so I thought, I was like, I missed the game,
Congratulations for being you.
Right? I was like, great. And then and so I was actually it was really early. The fans from the UK found out, and so it was like 8 a.m. I was actually in bed when my phone started going off, and I woke up. I was like, I have no idea what's going on, but so that's where I was. It was just I was in bed, and the story hit, and fans from overseas started going nuts already.
So when that starts happening, when you're getting these random texts, take us through the emotions that are running through your head.
Well, when I found out that The Flash got picked up, my agent, I talked to him, and we were both really excited because there's multiple reasons. I mean, you know, you now know that you get to play superhero or villain or whichever way it is. You now know that it's going to be aired worldwide, which means that, well, in this case, millions of people are going to see this. And so that kind of excitement, and to know that prior to it being released, I had done some dialogue recording for it. So I got to see little stints of what the show looked like. And I was more excited than anything. So that was a confirmation, and the goosebumps ran crazy knowing that that is going to be seen now on TV. So it was nuts. So.
And being on this set must have differed from so many other sets that you've been on before, with the special effects too. I think you did some 3D scans as well, right? What was that like? Well,
the Weather Wizard, as you see in the pilot, I mean, he does some crazy things. Like he's standing in the middle of tornadoes and hurricanes, and it's insane. So on set, it was a little different. I mean, I've done a lot of TV, but in this case, the budget was so much higher, and the hype was so much higher, and the people behind it. You know, these guys do major feature films, and so when you have them on set and you see what they're doing when they're closing streets down in downtown Vancouver for one scene, and and there explosions everywhere and stuff like that. So to be part of that, I mean, you're a kid on set, you really are, and so it was really exciting, and just even seeing like the fans and even on the streets, and like people coming around and stuff like that, and the excitement it's nuts. So.
And with such a following, with the excitement, did you fully expect this to get picked up, or were you a little nervous?
No, I was nervous with some other shows I did. This was one that I think even before they created this show, people knew it was going to come eventually. And I think this one, everyone was kind of confident about it. When CW announced it, it was, okay, yeah, they stamped it, great, it's done. We can breathe a little. But no, I myself was pretty confident, especially after seeing a little bit of this done stuff. I was like, there's no way this isn't getting picked up. There's just no way. And just the people they have attached. I mean, they have, Grant Gustin, who's got a huge following with Glee. They have Jesse Martin, CSI guy. And then they have David Nutter, who's basically the pilot king. So when you have them and, it's a spin-off of Arrow, which is doing crazy, and you have, Kreisberg and people like that, this is a perfect show for CW. So they nailed it on this one.
So when it comes to doing something like this and working with those types of people, I mean, it's huge for a comic book fan. But there's got to be a little bit of, what if all these followers don't like what we're doing? Do you worry about that at all?
Yeah, well, I think I'm a fan myself. So, when you watch shows and stuff, if they steer too far off, I mean, you're going in, no matter what you do, there's going to be fans that aren't going to like it. Absolutely. You can make Terminator 2, which is like one of the best movies ever. There's gonna be haters, right? And the same thing probably applies with this. Yeah, they have to change the origins a little bit. I mean, there was people that, at first weren't even happy that Grant Gustin wasn't a blonde guy because Barry Allen. So, I mean, you're never gonna please everyone. I hope that they really do stay true, and even the creators though of the show, these guys are the guys who are making the comic books and stuff too. So I don't see it going that far off of what fans want to see. So. Okay.
Anything can happen in show business, as I'm sure you are well aware of. When it comes to doing a pilot episode, do you definitely have the part and you're going to be in the series, or is it a wait and see what the script says?
Well, when you get the pilot, I mean, obviously you film it and stuff like that. But a lot of times what happens is when the series gets picked up, after the pilot, they kind of see what the reviews or reactions are sometimes, and sometimes they'll even do reshoots with recasts, and so nothing's ever a sure thing in this. Thank God it didn't go that way for me. They kept it, and like I said, I don't know what's going to be happening down the road. We only filmed one pilot so far, but I'm just excited right now to see what happens with Clyde and or his brother or whatever with the show.
And one of the biggest things, the thing that I think is probably the coolest, and I'm supremely jealous of you. You get to go to Comic-Con.
Yeah, like I said, Comic-Con is like a childhood's dream. Like, I mean, if you're a comic book fan, and to go down with the cast and stuff is insane. You know, just to be on those panels and stuff on the other side, just to kind of see how that is. And I don't even care if I'm doing the panels and stuff. I just want to go and watch the people go nuts over, you know, the reactions, but to see the reactions of the show, I'm really excited to see what the fans say and stuff. So good or bad, I'm sure they both come. So
I'm sure they will,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I personally can't wait to see it. Now at Comic-Con, a lot of people dress up for the event.
Right.
I would like you to show me your socks today.
You and the socks. I kind of have Flash themed socks, kind of. I mean, I guess they're Flash and the Black, which means the good and the bad.
Right.
So we're representing both sides of the DC universe today. So yeah.
And was that a conscious choice to put those on today?
Kind of. I knew you were coming, and I knew that was your thing. So yeah.
I'm happy you prepared yourself for the part. Thank you so much, Chad.
Oh, you're awesome.